So, if you played Yu-Gi-Oh in high school, something that may or may not have happened to you was that you were playing at locals alone, and obviously with people at locals. But people at your school weren't playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Maybe your school everyone played Yu-Gi-Oh. Maybe you went to Dual Academy. But in most people's high school situations, I feel like you're like there's only one or two people per school playing Yu-Gi-Oh. So you might have tried to get your friends to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and that's something I did in my I guess it would have been junior year of high school. I think it's deck is from 2011, but basically, I started my friend David into Yu-Gi-Oh in 2011, and he liked it for a little while. He played it for a couple months, but video games are more his thing, and he actually competitively plays Smash Bros. Now. But anyway, a while back, I think like the first year I started college, he gave me all of his cards, and part of that was this right here, and this is a deck that I had built him. It wasn't his first deck. He played Agents for a little while. He played. I know he has like all the Blackwing stuff too. That's in the cards that I have from him. Because Duels Pack Crow was fairly recent. That must put this deck at 2011. But basically, I built some of this deck, and I thought it was pretty good. This is actually one of my favorite decks back in the day. So I thought I'd go through it as sort of a blast from the past. If you've never seen Macro Monarchs, it's very possible you haven't because the two main cards of it are currently limited. But we'll kind of go through and I'll explain how this deck worked. And obviously, this was like a super casual thing because it was something I made for my friend with the cards that he and I both had. But I loved this deck back in the day. And yeah, I thought I'd kind of show it off because I found it. So the main engine was so we have three DD Survivor and two DD Scout Plane. I only have two of this card, but it probably should have been 3 and 3. So what these cards do, they come back during the end phase of the turn that they're banished. Survivor has to be face up to use that effect. It had to be face up when it was banished. Scout Plane, it could be whatever. So the plan here is to set up a Dimensional Fissure or a Macrocosmos, which were both at 3 at the time, and you would have these guys on the board, and then you tribute them for a Monarch, and then you get the Monarch effect, obviously, and then during the end phase, this would come back. Dimensional Fissure and Macrocosmos weren't as annoying against the meta back in the day, so that wasn't like the main reason you were playing them. I mean, there were graveyard cards certainly, especially at like a local level. Lots of people played weird decks, but generally you were just using it to consistently just get fodder on the field and sort of out advantage your opponent. The obvious downside that I didn't realize at the time because I was terrible at the game is that you have to have like these cards and the Dimensional Fissure or Macrocosmos and a Monarch to make the deck actually playable. But yeah, we played these 5. That was sort of like the cards you want to see every game. So I don't know why we only didn't play 6 of them. But anyway, for the Monarchs, we played 3 Caius. So I had these 3 sitting around. I'm like 99% sure because I like this deck a lot. So I'm pretty sure a lot of these cards were just like mine for a while. We have 3 Caius, 2 Ryza, which was very good at the time, and then 1 Mobius. Look at this cool Starfire one. So Battle Pack 1 must have just came out. That must have been like the most recent thing. I don't remember. I'm so lost in this timeline. It must have been. I feel like it was either 2011 or 2012. But regardless, because he doesn't have. Sorry, I'm like going through this. He doesn't have like any Exceed monsters, but in Battle Pack 1 must have came out. I don't know when that came out. I'm very confused, but this is an old deck. That's the important part. It's hard because like this was like a casual deck, so like it's hard judging which day exactly it was. But anyway, this was the Monarch lineup. This is pretty standard. No Zaborg or anything. Caius was really good back then. Ryza was really good too. Ryza is actually just a lot of fun in general. I want to play these cards in the deck. Anyway, and then Mobius for back row removal or whatever. We played... holy shit. We played 3 DD Warrior Lady just to really get the banishing going, I guess. I mean, this was like spot removal or something. They came in the structure deck, so I guess it made sense that I played it. 1 DD Assailant, 1 Banisher of the Light. This card seems pretty bad, but I guess it's fine. It's 2000 defense. 1 Gramble. There's some good spot removal. Spirit Reaper, because why not? Cyber Dragon, because it's tribute fodder. I'm pretty sure we would have played more of this if I would have had more of it, but I know I didn't. So there's some one-ofs. And then for the tuners, we played, for our 15-card extra deck, we played 1 Rose Warrior of Revenge and 1 Gale. That was it. Oh, man. There's like 13 synchro monsters in the extra deck for these 2 unsearchable one-ofs. Yeah, I don't think he made synchros a lot, but it was kind of cool because if you had like a GD Survivor in either of these cards, you can make like a level 7 synchro and then get the Survivor back, and then or make a level 8 synchro and get the Survivor back. So that was kind of neat. But yeah, there weren't a lot of good tuners back in the day that weren't expensive at least. So these are just what we went with. And then let's see. Oh yeah, so one thing I should mention is that I did. Well, I'll get to that in a second. So we played 3 MST. That was at 3. That was like the only... There's no Twin Boosters or anything, obviously. So 3 of that. 1 Dark Hole. There's no Regeki, so gotta play that. Smashing Ground to really show there was no Regeki and no second Dark Hole either. So this was like what we played. And then... So what I was going to mention is that I know for a fact I took out 2 cards out of this deck earlier when I first got it. Sorry, I just like burped. So, because there's right now in the deck is only 2 D-Fissure and 2 Macrocosmos. Well, I know for a fact that I played 3 and 3 of these. So, those just pretend there was 3 and 3. Obviously, like, bricking these cards was really bad. This deck's so bricky. I can't believe this was like my favorite deck back in the day. Boy, time flies. You know what I'm saying? Man, just like a nostalgia trick. I really did like this deck a lot. I thought that. I mean, because like you had like Macrocosmos. And like, let's say you had like this is your opening hand. Macrocosmos, like Caius Ryza, DD Survivor, and then like any other trap card or something. You just set macro, summon Survivor, and it's like, what are they gonna do? Like they run over the Survivor, and then you just bring it back and you tribute it for Ryza, and then you bring it back and tribute it for Caius, and it's like, I thought it was really cool back in the day. Anyway, so for the traps that besides Macrocosmos, 2 Trenchal, 2 Bottomless. Man, I missed Bottom. I don't even know when Bottomless went to 1. I think that was on the Dragon Ruler ban list that Bottomless went to 1, if I remember correctly. And then some one-ofs. So we had Mirror Force, Starlit Road, Magic Cylinder, I guess. I mean, we probably didn't have any good trap cards besides Magic Cylinder, so that's just what we played. And then 1 Return of the Inner Dimension, although this card probably wasn't as nutty as it was back in the day. But it's cool because you can bring back the Banished Monarchs with it, so... That was it for the main deck. Some quality stuff here. He actually like won some rounds with it, so hell if I know how that happened. No, it's not that terrible, especially back in the day, but it wasn't that great. For the extra deck, so we have. This is why I was thinking that it was like, I wonder if it was like late 2011, because it must have been like late 2011 because he has Gachi Gachi and Utopia, but no other Exceed monsters. But in some of his cards that he gave me, he had like, I think he had like Generation 4 stuff, and then whatever the set after that was, but then no further past that. So that would be like early 2011, or late 2011, early 2012, I believe. I'm sure people have corrected me in the comments. But anyway, these are the only Exceed monsters that we had. There were probably other Exceed monsters, but like, I specifically remember that his binder just was like full of like, because like back in the day, the Exceed monsters that came in the packs that weren't like expensive were just like garbage. Like they all took like 3 level 4 monsters and they didn't do anything, and it was like super frustrating. There was like fuck was that card? Terrorbite, the number something or other. Terrorbite took like 3 level 3 monsters and it was like a bad snatch deal. I think that's what it did. I don't know. But anyway, played these because they came out of the structure deck. And then we have 2 level 5, so we have Vortex to Whirlwind because he had that for Black Wings. Magical Android, which I believe was like the best budget level 5 synchro. I know there was a time when he just had Vortex to the Whirlwind, and then like we were really excited when we got a Magical Android. This card used to actually be expensive because before like Alges's Catastor came out, there just like weren't, and even now there really aren't a lot of good generic level 5 synchro monsters. I guess like Denglong if that counts. But anyway, played those 2 cards to make with Gale. If you draw the Gale and you have a DD Scout plane, I guess. Level 6s, we have 2 Iron Chain Dragons, Gaia Knight, and Blackwing Armored Wing, because you can make this with Gale, I guess. I don't think like any of these came up. Did he even play any level... I guess make that with like Grammel or Spirit Reaper. I was like, did he even play any level 3s? For level 7s, Armored Wing, or Armor Wing, or Armor Master, holy shit, Armor Master, Herbalum, Psychic Life Transfer. We could never afford Black Rose Dragon. I probably had like 1 Black Rose Dragon, but he definitely didn't. Then for level 8s, we had the one, the only Blackwing Dragon. And then Stardust and Colossal Fighter. I'm pretty sure he just, because this is terrible under, why would you ever play this under Macrocosmos? So I'm pretty sure he just played like Stardust or something, and then like I said, I'm pretty sure the Crow pack had like was something that our shop had a lot of, and they were like cheap. And if you ever played this game when you like your parents were giving your money for it, like we were back in those times, um, they would it was you obviously could only buy packs, not singles. And the Crow pack actually had a lot of good cards in it, so we had like all of these that were from the Crow pack. But anyway, that is my blast from the past deck profile of Macro Monarchs. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.